Welcome everybody to this exciting episode of Geek Boots Military Nerds. We here at Geek Boots like to tell you about the big green weenie and how it likes to continue to fuck us. Just like when you're getting super excited for the Xbox One when they were announcing it, and then the CEO decided to fuck you all by telling you if you're backwards compatible, you're really fucking backwards. On tonight's episode, we are talking about a couple of little topics, and then we're going to dive into the main subject, which is video games.
Yay!
Finally, because the majority of everybody on this episode plays video games, or at least watches other people play video games. So, thankfully, because Cosplay Genemy probably just sit there, smile, and go, "I exist." By the way,
I'm a mermaid.
by the way,
She is!
She is! Oh my gosh, your shots as a mermaid are incredible. If you haven't checked it out, definitely go over there and see it.
She's an exquisite half-naked mermaid. Just gonna put that out there.
That doesn't quite do it justice. Like, she's just, wow.
She is. She really is.
She's stunning.
She is one of my best friends for a reason.
Much love
Wait,
to
what?
Jen. Yeah, right. Much love to Jen. She's not with us today because she's celebrating her anniversary. So kudos to her. Super awesome. We're gonna start this episode off
Happy anniversary,
by...
Jen.
Yep, happy anniversary to Jen. We're giving a giant shout out to Matt Best. If you are a fan of this show and don't know already, or you already do know because you like military-based products or businesses, that's right. I, Thom Cruz, lucked out because Matt Best, last minute, came in 10 minutes away from where I live to a third-place bookstore to do book signing for his book, Thank You for My Service, which will now be tentatively titling this episode, Thank You for Our Service, in the same regard towards how he wrote his book. I got to meet him. It was really awesome. I gave him the book. I said, yeah, for Thom Cruz. And at first he wasn't, like, really registering it until I went, yeah, you know that Deadpool who tags you annoyingly on Instagram? Yeah, that's me. And he looked up at me, wide-eyed, pursed lips, going, whoa, wait, that's you? Dude, I fucking love your content. And I'm like, oh my god, this is happening! And so we were taking photos, and he was signing the book, and he was basically telling not only me, but other people that were around, he goes, yeah, this guy makes great content, dressed up in his Deadpool. Fucking love this guy. And then I told him, I'm like, I have the Captain America shield in my car. Do you want me to go get that for you? And he goes, oh yeah, fuck yeah, where is it? I go, it's in my car right now. He goes, oh yeah, sure, come back, and then you got to go to the end of the line and come back through. I'm like, that is not a problem. So I race out, put my signed book down, go race back inside with both my shield and my mask, and I go, here you go, Best, and gave him the shield to wield, and I start putting the mask on, and everybody at Third Place Books that works there was going, oh wow, that's an awesome mask, look at that shield, that's really awesome. And Matt Best was the one going, oh yeah, dude, he's made some incredible content tagging us. This guy's got like a legitimate Deadpool suit, this guy's awesome. And I'm just like, what? And then he at some point made a comment about how everyone at Black Rifle knows me. Like,
Well, there's a reason.
yeah, there's a reason, obviously.
I mean, seriously, they bukkake you with 9mm shells.
Seriously, yep. So his book is out now. It's, as I'm tentatively joking, in the spirit of who Matt Best is. So if you get offended, in the famous words of Matt Best, suck a fuck. His book is sold everywhere where Antifa is not burning books. He signed it, Thom Cruz, stay awesome, and then gave the signature. The opening page, I just want to read real fast. It reads, for my beautiful mother, who has stood by me through success and failure while I chase my dreams, despite wishing for a girl when she was pregnant with me. Don't worry, Mom, there's still hope for me yet. Bruce Jenner didn't transition until he was in his 60s. A little known fact, if you don't know who Matt Best is, Matt Best is a former U.S. Army Ranger serving with the 2nd Ranger Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment. He is also hugely known for all of his YouTube videos on his channel, mbest, I think 11x, if I'm not mistaken. He does videos on Black Rifle Coffee as well. He's got an awesome Instagram. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but platform. He's got great content, and he was behind the movie Range 15 with other veterans. So get yourself this book, regardless if you're going to get it signed or not, because as he put it in this last paragraph, is "And for civilians, this is an insider account of military life you will not find anywhere else, told with equal amounts of heart and balls. It's Deadpool meets Captain America, except one went to business school and one went to therapy. And if it's anyone's guess which one is which." Which, by the way, while we're taking photos, I had told him that I took a photo dressed in my actual Captain America costume while wearing the Deadpool mask, because he had said it's funny because I wrote in my book that this is what this book's about, and I went, yeah, I took a photo, and then of course I posted it, and he hit like on the post as well as the other posts I posted. He's a great guy. He's fantastic. Last comment I can say about Matt Best is, if you watch their videos and they're trying to describe the best way they can who Matt Best is simply put, Matt Best is just Matt Best. So if you're watching a video and you're seeing him do his thing, that's literally him. And I can speak from account. The guy's fucking awesome. So I'm probably going to make a trip to San Antonio, Texas to go to Black Rifle Coffee there, shoot some guns and drink some alcohol with them. It's going to happen.
If you do invite me so I can go back to the place, because I got my brace in San Antonio at Brook Army Medical Center there. So that'd be kind of cool.
Done. It'll be a geek.
So, yeah.
It'll be a geek.
I'm coming too.
Okay, fine. Everybody's coming except for J4, whose eyebrows go up and go, I don't really care.
You want to come drink with us?
Yeah, and shoot guns.
No, wait, no, wait. Time out.
Sorry.
Safety first. We shoot guns, then we drink.
Yes. Yes.
Apparently, that's not how they roll.
Hey.
That's how I roll.
The two dads just went. So
My
yeah,
kids are
the two dads went ORM, ORM, ORM.
No, it's more of, I really don't want to be the cause of another safety brief.
Don't worry. Matt Best, JT, and Vincent Rocco Vargas already made a song about that, so you're good to go.
I've actually been the reason of
So have
not
I.
just a safety brief, but an international incident. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone. No, I'm good.
But
Although
anyway,
it's always funny when you do
drop
it.
those bombshells, both of you, and not go on. They're
We
like,
don't have. We don't have all day.
yeah, no. So yeah, in closing, wrapping this part of the segment up. Thank you, Matt Best, for the incredible experience and the greatest morning coffee club post ever. Yeah.
Yes.
Humble brag. And I can't wait to start reading this amazing book.
All right.
And because I don't own a gun, I'll probably throw it at people's faces and run away. So moving on.
Excuse me, when you come here, we can go shoot.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
sure.
With a
And-
camera.
Angela's shooting range isn't too far from him, right?
There you go. Okay, now on to the next subject. It is a hot button issue. We'll talk about it very briefly. But Sony and Disney, they were in talks and negotiation on deals. And as everyone's responding, the shit hit the fan. And I'm both like, I'm a little hurt because I want Spider-Man to continue being part of the MCU. But at the same time, I cannot help but laugh at how butthurt the internet has become.
All right. Can I say something real quick?
Go for
I'm
it.
sure you guys have seen my posts, and I've had a lot of people giving me a lot of shit about this. And as much as I love the MCU and everything like that, my biggest point is, I put it in my stories. I didn't put it in my main feed, and it's like, I just wish there was some place that I could see Spider-Man like actually going out and working with other Marvel characters. I wonder where this place could be. Please tell me, where is this magical place? Oh, wait, it's your local comic shop.
Thank you.
Fucking go buy a comic every week, Wednesdays, New Comic Day. Support your local comic shop.
Which,
I mean, for
again,
real people.
Steaming pile of foreshadowing.
I mean,
catch us next week as we talk about this more in depth.
Yeah. Oh no, next week I'm giving you both barrels. Trust me. But for right now, just with the Spider-Man thing, I'm seeing all of these crazy MCU fanboys, and I just coming out of the woodwork and being like, and Spidey's in the MCU. He deserves to be in the MCU. He is in the MCU, but I mean, if you look at it, holy shit! I mean, they've already got Phase 4 already locked in. Phase 5, kind of. They've got the X-Men to bring in. They've got Fantastic Four to bring in. It's going to be another 4 to 5 years before they can release another Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. And what is that going to do? He's going to be out of college. I mean, he's going to be done. He's no longer the Spider-Man, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So, I mean, everybody, please just back off.
Does that mean he's the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man?
I don't know. Closer to the Andrew Garfield. I mean, he's done with college. He's in his 30s. I mean, he's not
the father of 2 now. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly. So, and what kills me is like everybody talking about. Go ahead. Everybody talking about how like Tom Holland, like this big internet thing that he immediately unfollowed Sony, and he never followed Sony. He was following Kevin Feige, he was following Disney and everything like that, but he was never following Sony on Instagram, Twitter, and everything like that. So then when people went and looked, they were like, oh, he's not following them. He must have unfollowed them. There is no evidence showing that he ever liked any posts, that he ever responded to anything from Sony in the entire time in social media. So people are like throwing gasoline on the fire, saying that he unfollowed. And it's like, no, he never did follow them.
Wow.
So
the shallowness. In
Yeah.
The
so I mean, they're using that as ammunition, saying that he's not on board with the deal. It's like, why the hell are you going to bite the hand that feeds you? Literally, he's on contract with Sony to make more movies, 2 more.
And not only that, but like, okay, I'm gonna jump in on this because
Please.
The internet reaction has been partially hilarious, but it's also, you can kind of see the business tactics behind it.
Yes.
Because, like, I mean, they were in negotiations, still negotiations and all this stuff, and Disney's like, hey, you guys love Spider-Man, he wants to take him away from us, go.
Yes.
Lit the match, and the internet took off. And so a lot of things jumped in left and right. That thing that you were talking about just now, like everybody saying like Disney should buy out Sony, and it's like, okay, hold your horses. We are jumping on this and not giving it the time to negotiate, because that takes time. It takes a lot of time.
But that's also part of the I believe it's part of the negotiation tactic. And Disney,
Disney definitely.
Disney using their popularity to basically sway public opinion to their side during negotiations to try and force Sony to play their hand. And I'm sorry, as much as I love Spider-Man in the MCU and everything like that, I absolutely also love the fact that, I mean, business, enterprise, you have something separate. And a lot of people are forgetting that Disney was trying to also take all of the Spider-Man characters, Mobius, Venom, everybody that is in the Spider-Verse. They're trying to take all of them, so that way they have creative control over all of these characters. People keep forgetting to put that in there and keep saying, no, it's just a 50-50 deal. No, it's not.
Yeah, there's so much more as far as business is concerned.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I kind of want to stand by Stan Lee's daughter when she says, yeah, Sony, keep fighting.
Yes.
Because if with Disney acquiring all these IPs, all these characters, and all this, that, and the other, it's kind of turned into like just like it gets hard. Like I honestly cannot tell you who the bad guy is in Doctor Strange. Right? Or who the bad guy was in
Is it the ancient one?
Thor Dark
Is
World.
it Dormammu?
Yeah. Okay.
Who knows?
What you're saying.
I think it was yeah. So it's like
yeah.
It just like it just it's nice having variety.
It is.
You know? And so with everybody under Disney, it's like all of a sudden it's like
a cookie cutter.
Yeah, it's a cookie cutter because Disney no longer has competition, so they don't have to try as hard.
Right.
So it's like, honestly, I'm glad that the world gets to kind of see that, yeah, there is business going on, but I think it was a low blow for this to just blow out and say, hey, public, tear Sony a new one, because that's exactly what's happening, and it's unfortunate and it's unfair.
And unfortunately, it's not the fans. It's the, like I said, it's the MCU fanboys that are clamoring at the same people that didn't want to bring Jane Foster back for Thor 4. The same people that were making fun of Natalie Portman are the same people that are like fueling this fire. So no, it has nothing to do with Marvel. It has nothing to do with Disney. It has nothing to do with the MCU. It literally has to do with just business.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess even I would have to say that just people need to call their shit, but it's the internet, so.
Yeah.
That's never gonna happen.
All I'm hoping for is that whatever happens, Sony and Marvel and Disney, what have you, they ignore the internet and just keep doing what they need to do.
There's no way.
There's no way. I mean, again, court of public opinion. I mean, as you and I well know, I mean, people get blasted in the media, and using social media as a tool is something I can see a major corporation doing to try and put pressure on another one to give up some of their rights. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens.
Fingers crossed.
Right. J4, you got anything to weigh in on this?
Hmm.
And on that note,
that was the best
do I have
reaction.
So, I mean, I do and I don't. Because on one side, like, yeah, Sony owns the rights and stuff like that. And yes, it is nice to have competition because, you know, competition makes better products. That being said, when was the last time Sony, without Disney's help, put out a good Spider-Man movie?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Which is a different subsidiary of Sony. It's not the same.
Still Sony.
It's still Sony.
And Marvel Studios is a subsidiary of Disney. So
true.
I'm going to use your own argument against you.
But we're also talking about completely different creative minds. We're talking about Sony Animation, and then you're talking Sony Columbia Pictures, because Columbia, it wasn't okay. I mean, it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great.
Better than Thor 2.
I still don't know what happened in Thor 2. Like,
debatable. I enjoyed it, but then
Jane Foster got
how about
really
this?
sick.
And how about this? I'll even leave Marvel out of it. Better than John Carter.
I never saw that one.
Okay, there's a reason.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the one where he went to Mars?
Yeah.
I like
Civil
that
War
movie,
era
so
with
you can
Mars.
fuck off.
I think when that movie came out, I was somewhere movies weren't easy to watch or something like that, and there was a whole lot of not caring going on.
Yeah, Vietnam was really hard on you, wasn't it?
You know what, youngin?
I'm not the only one anymore.
Hey, I'd calm down if I were you. Karma could be a bitch.
Hey, hatred for everybody, okay?
Yeah.
You
Equality.
better hope you look this damn good when you're this damn old.
You're like 2 years older than me, what?
But anyway,
So
and then because I mean, look at the look at what Fox did with the X-Men franchise. It started off fairly strong. There was a ton of missteps. I mean, it wasn't that good. Like
no,
all.
they ended strong with Logan.
Yeah, which that was basically that was his Deadpool. That was his
That was his soliloquy. That was his swan song.
That was
totally
that was his pet project. And and they, you know, after what, 17, 18, however long he had been playing that character, he kind of earned some creative control over the character. And it turned out great. But I mean, other than that, I mean, their best movies are mediocre. I mean,
I gotta admit, I enjoy the memes.
I mean,
I'm enjoying the memes too. I've shared several of them myself.
I saw that.
But so that's like one half of my mind, and then the other half is I really don't care.
Yeah.
Then we'll move on now.
Because I've never really been that big of a Spider-Man fan, for one, and two, it's gonna work itself out. They're either gonna get him, keep him in the MCU, or they're not, and we're gonna have a fork in the road. And at the end of the day, it really isn't going to affect me all that much.
All right. Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Just real quick, one of the things that I'm actually loving about this happening exactly right now is we know that Carnage is coming out. So we also now have we have the ability for Spider-Man to have a movie with Venom.
There's gonna be carnage.
So you have to have Spider-Man with Venom having them against each other before you can have Spider-Man with Venom against Carnage.
Whoa, okay, hold on.
Source material.
All I know is her hands are doing the finger thing, and then for a minute they started jerking things off, and I just went, "Oh my god, stop!"
This is one of the episodes I'm glad I don't have for video.
Yeah, she's sitting there doing the tongue stuff, doing the fingering thing like this, and then for a brief minute she starts doing
Mayan.
this.
I mean, that's all she does is tonguing and fingering. I mean.
And she's hiding now. You roasted her. She's done. But yeah, like, I mean, I watched Homecoming and I watched Far From Home, and I enjoyed those movies. But I think Tom Holland's portrayal of Spider-Man's pretty damn cool.
Yes.
I'm just not that big of a Spider-Man fan, and I'll survive.
Yeah.
On that note, let's talk about video games. Yes. So all of that it's become quite the noise, I guess you could say. But now on to the topic of this episode, which is video games. More positive topic. The reason why we need to talk about this is because I don't even know when it started. I just know that when my cousin was deployed with the Marines, he said that he was really bored his last couple of deployments because there was not a whole lot going on, and every time he went back to the FOB or whatever, everybody would be in their underwear playing Xbox. So at some point, video games became very popular with everybody who's on deployment. And that's why we're going to talk about this, because even my buddy had said to me that a lot of veterans are on Twitch. Cough, cough. Mayan goddess, cough, cough.
What's up? Hey, guys. Fun fact, I'm on Twitch.
So yeah, we're going to talk about our favorite video games. Past, present, doesn't fucking matter. You can do both. I don't really give a shit. More positive the better. favorite console, or out of the three that you can play video games on that are main ones aside from portables and handhelds.
Wait, what? No, you can't
What?
do that. You can't do that to me because most of my games were on consoles that aren't available anymore, like PS2.
That's totally, like I said, you can talk
They're
about
still
stuff from the
available.
past. Yeah.
Girl.
Dude, okay, so
Have you
let's
not
just
seen the
just-
shelf
let's-
that have like
hold on.
every single?
let's drop the announcement since we're diving into video games. PS5 is completely backwards compatible all the way to the PlayStation 1.
What?
Yeah, you can play, not just download the game online, you can put the fucking disc in there.
Okay, you do realize I'm gonna plug a buddy of mine's company on this. So
Go for it.
I
Right now.
when we get to there.
Okay, fine.
PlayStation 5.
PlayStation is the shit. I'm sorry. Like the big green weenie joke, like I like Xbox and Microsoft for Halo and Gears of War, but considering most of their games have shared platform with PlayStation, nah, I play majority of my games are on PlayStation. I'm a PlayStation kind of person. It's where it's all at. Ever since Final Fantasy VII came out, I knew PlayStation was the way to go. Cause that was when you really started getting, and I'm gonna use quote fingers for all the listeners, good graphics. The computer graphics.
The only reason back in the day, the only reason to have an Xbox was for Halo, and the Halo franchise. Unfortunately, as much as I loved playing it, it's not the same.
It's not the same. Well, on top of that, for me, Halo has become one of those games where it's like, can you just let it die now?
Yeah,
They're coming out with a new one, and I'm like, can you not? Because your last couple of games made me want to shoot myself.
But that's the thing is, like, you have first-person shooters like Call of Duty that actually come out with decent content. Which we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, which, speaking of Call of Duty, I'm really happy. I watched an interview for the new Modern Warfare series, and originally I guess the plan was to make a new sequel that would be off of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, but they decided and elected, you know what? I think what would be better off is if we do a Modern Warfare series and make it closer towards the environment that is around us. So it's going to be a new take with the same old characters. So it's going to be fun. But I will start this whole thing off. My favorite video game. Oh God, there's so many. I love first-person shooters, but overall, my favorite video game has to go to Metal Gear. And of course, I met David Hayter, and then I asked David Hayter to give Geek Boots a fucking shout out, by the way, and he did it in Solid Snake's voice, which was fucking awesome. I guess if I wanted to, I'll make a cut insert right here, and I'll play it for the audio for everybody. I'll just put it in this podcast so that everybody can see it or hear it.
This is Solid Snake. I just want to give a shout out for Geek Boots Military Nerds. You guys, you're pretty good. Any civilians out there? These guys are bridging the gap between civilians and the military. Check them out on Podbean and social media. Have a great one, guys. Snake out.
Anyway, yeah, so Metal Gear is kind of where I got my start. I remember my dad coming home with a big old box for the PlayStation and a couple of games. He goes, check out what I got. And I'm like, what? So Metal Gear for me, it's when I got my start, was when Metal Gear came out. That's my favorite video game. Favorite console, already said PlayStation. That's my go-to. Don't get me wrong, I pay respects to the old classics. I've played them all before, but PlayStation's my go-to. I do show a lot of respect to PC gamers, though. I just think it's hilarious when they consider themselves the master race. like, fuck off. Like, I get it. I respect it. Like, Alienware and stuff like that, and they get all the good stuff. When Halo first came out, Xbox users were doing cool stuff, but on the PC, you were able to have much more variety of weaponry and vehicles than what was on Xbox. So I was a little annoyed and frustrated because I was like, why does PC get all the good shit? And I'm stuck here wishing I had the good shit. It's fucking bullshit. So yeah, that's I guess to add on, least favorite game. Fuck, man. I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I'm gonna have to say it. I hate to admit, Kingdom Hearts 3 is my least favorite video game. That game had so much hype, and it fell so fucking flat and hard. I was trying to love it so much, but it felt like everybody forgot how to act. And then on top of forgetting how to act, even if there was a good performance with the voice acting, there was no acting whatsoever on the characters themselves, and it took me out of the game so hard.
I was just talking about this the other day.
Go for it.
On Tuesday. I'm gonna pounce on that. Is it okay if I jump in? Yeah. Okay.
Why are why are we like stopping the woman from pouncing? I mean, all I'm thinking right now is I'm seeing like either Shaq with his little and like the cat with his butt in the air, shaking. So
and
pounce
over the face is my
pounce
goddess.
away.
Okay. So Kingdom Hearts 3, I will agree, is the biggest disappointment for me. And also going into Disney business. Sorry, I swear I love Disney. But okay, so Kingdom Hearts 3 had such hype because it had been like 15 years, or not, 12, 15 years, something like that.
17, I think.
Okay.
Hold on.
A long time. And so when they were like, yeah, we're developing stuff, and then it kept getting pushed back and pushed back. And then when it finally came out, it became very apparent why. Disney was like, hey, we've got these movies and these games and stuff coming out in the next 2-3 years. We want you to use those IPs. Like,
so
like that's what happened. And so all of a sudden, like, you see all of these like rush storylines. They don't really connect anymore. And the original storyline that Disney's like IPs kind of worked around, it went the other way. And so that's why the storyline fell flat for a lot of people. And it was really disappointing because a lot of the things that we respected so much out of Kingdom Hearts wasn't the basis of the game anymore. So that's, yeah, it just...
You're not alone. 2005? So 14 years. It was 14 years. Kingdom Hearts 2
Glazy
was
says
back
black
in 2000.
rifles matter, by the way.
Huh?
Glazy says black rifles matter, by the way.
We will, if Matt Best is still listening to the podcast by now,
I doubt it.
you will enjoy that comment.
Let's be honest.
Honestly, I've stopped listening like 3 times.
What?
Huh?
I'm just kidding. So yeah, I concur on a lot of levels. Anyway, and I guess another sidebar of that is the same group that did Kingdom Hearts 3 is working on the Final Fantasy game, and they're working tirelessly trying to make it perfect. So all I can say is, okay, do you, boo boo, because Final Fantasy 7 better be fucking amazing, because Kingdom Hearts 3 was shit. My favorite go-to type of video game is first-person shooters. I love first-person shooters. Call of Duty is kind of my thing right now over majority of other games. But I play campaign more than I do multiplayer, and I think that's because I came from the same group of teens and tweens, basically, who, when we were playing Halo online for the first time ever, all you would hear is little kids swearing at one another loudly into their microphones. And you're just like, can I just have actual communication with my teammate? Nope.
For once, I will say thank the Lord for Fortnite for taking all of these 10 and 12-year-old kids away from decent games.
Yes. Although, we have to admit, some adults still act like kids. I remember playing a game, Sniper versus Sniper.
Yeah, but we can call them out.
I was playing sniper versus sniper, and I owned this guy. And the guy goes, "Yeah, must feel great cheating." And I go, "What? I didn't cheat. I don't have any mods on me." He goes, "Yeah, you do." I'm like, "Are you just butthurt that I kicked your ass because it's 12-0? Like, I don't know what your problem is." So adults can be children on video games too, except
I have a funny story about that. So, back when I had like a male partner, and he was very, very much into video games, and he was killing people, and people were talking shit. So they were like, so he gives me the headset and the mic, and I start talking back, and these people freaked out because they were like, I'm getting my ass handed to me by a girl, and it was just the most satisfying thing to witness because I'm just like, really?
Girls play video games too, bruh.
Yeah, like
Seriously.
Wait. Mine's playing one right now. It's Spyro.
Okay, sorry. I had to interject. I
Mine.
apologize.
Not mine. Mine. I know they sound similar.
Mine.
Mine. Mine. Hi, Ruby.
They say hello.
A wild black
Says
widow
hello.
appeared.
No.
Oh, did you guys? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you guys not see that? That's the problem with Endgame. They took away one widow just to give us another one.
Holy shit! If we were already headstrong on the title of this episode, that would be it right there. Holy fuck!
I don't know. I kind of like it. Anyway, as you were.
Yeah, as I was. Actually, I'm gonna turn it now to J4. Your turn to talk about yourself in video games. Favorite video game, doesn't matter. You can list games or what have you. Favorite platform, least favorite, and main type of game that you like to play.
My favorite video game, it's probably a toss-up between either Final Fantasy VII, because that was basically my intro into RPGs, and I absolutely love RPGs, especially the old like 90s, early 2000s Japanese RPGs. Those were so much fun. The breadth of the stories that they had and the amount of detail that they had were just unreal. Now they've kind of gone away from that. I'm in the minority that kind of misses the turn-based battle systems, because it relied less on button mashing and more on strategy, and I enjoyed that. And management, like, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that one's probably my favorite, or either that one or going kind of what is it? Dragon Age Origins. I absolutely love that game, and the Dragon Age franchise. The depth of the lore in the world that they've built it's very entertaining. The characters are compelling and have.
I get suckered into those games just by the cover of their of the case, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
All right, I have to fucking play this game, and then I never do.
I mean, that's how I got into Origins. Is I had just come back from my first deployment, and I had just moved into the house that my wife and I started renting, but I was moving in there by myself because she was still out of town going to school, and so I'd get off work and go home and have nothing better to do. Stop at GameStop on my way home, and I see this game, and I was like, I literally know nothing about it. It's like, screw it, let me give this a shot. Hundreds of hours later, I am in love with this game and this franchise, and like even Dragon Age 2, which was almost universally panned. I thoroughly enjoyed it, even though it was very different from Origins. But it continued that world building that I absolutely love. So mainly I like games with depth. My favorite platform, I'm partial to PlayStation because it wasn't my first system. My first system was an NES, and then I got a Super NES. And then
Because you're old.
yeah, and then
Go fuck yourself.
I will later.
I'm sure you will.
Or I am
Oh.
now. Who knows?
Heyo.
Hey,
Even though
And
you
then
have
I,
a wonderful woman next to you.
she's the reason reason why I'm fucking myself.
Wait, what?
I do not want to hear about the bedroom habits right now. Hold on a second.
I'm sure we'll
I don't
hear
know.
all about them here soon.
I know we're talking about video games, but can you keep your hands off your joystick?
There it is.
I think he has more of a D-pad.
And so
Thumbstick.
the husband too.
But yeah,
No, thumbstick is what he actually does with his anus.
Oh, fuck.
Ooh. But yeah, I really enjoy the PlayStation, but I love the versatility of my PC here.
Oh, yeah. I totally respect it.
And the fact that I didn't build it. I put it together. It's hard to say you built a PC nowadays when you're really just buying a bunch of parts and throwing it together in a couple hours, looking at instructions on.
I mean,
It's
what part
like
goes
the
where.
adult Legos. It's so great.
It really is. That now it's so easy. Even an idiot like me can figure it out.
I've had buddies of mine build computers, but I mean, realistically, just by the way you described it alone, I would say that no matter what, it's building your own PC, because I've seen them, regardless of the parts that they get, someone else manufactured that part that they're finding somehow and put it together. I don't think I've physically seen someone using solder iron or whatever the fuck they're called and creating an actual computer to game with, but yeah.
I'm gonna take it a step further. I know guys that build their own cars.
Mm-hmm.
They don't mill their own, like engine blocks and everything like that.
Sure.
They order them.
Fair enough,
building
but it used to be even the ordering the parts and putting it together used to be a lot more difficult because now everything was plug and play.
Sure.
Like there were things that you had to solder together. But nowadays it's literally I thing goes in slot, push the things in,
tab A and slot B.
Yeah, connect the wire, and
that's probably because someone got the bright idea after doing those initial steps, going, you know what? People actually get a kick out of making their own computer. Why don't I make it easier for them and turn a profit doing it?
The reason why I built my own is because
Holy shit,
it is so much cheaper.
Yes,
I built
it's like me and my AR. I can go buy parts from somebody else. I can put it together the way I want to.
Exactly. Like I basically built about a $2,000 computer for about $700.
Exactly.
And every now and people trash on you still got to replace stuff when you want to upgrade, and it's like, yeah, but I do that so infrequently that not that big of a deal.
But like if you want to upgrade, you're not buying a new computer.
Yeah, for real.
That being said,
you're upgrading parts.
I have spent enough money on a video card at one point alone that I could have bought a console.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But
it lasted you a long ass time, didn't it?
Oh, I've been using it for 4 years now. So about a console life. Because I have a PlayStation 3. I'm not getting a 4. I might get a 5, and that's only because I'll want to play all 3 of the remakes of Final Fantasy VII when they come out.
Fuck yes.
So that's gonna be a thing. So my least favorite is a genre. MOBAs.
I have not heard of that game, so.
League of Legends, Dota 2, Heroes of New Earth, what's the Blizzard one?
Heroes of the Storm?
Heroes of the Storm. HOTS, I hate those games. They're dumb.
Okay. All right.
Like I've tried to get into them because a lot of my friends are really like my brother-in-law has literally thousands of hours logged into Dota 2, and he spent hundreds of dollars on this game that is free to play, just for cosmetics. That's it. For cosmetics. People do the same thing with Fortnite.
Yep.
But I don't like those games because there's no storyline. It's hyper repetitive, and the fan base is really toxic.
Ugh.
I'm surprised no one here so far has said Minecraft is their least favorite game.
Oh, I love it. I've spent
Dude,
hours of
seriously,
hours on it.
no, I've got kids. I love that game.
Well, then,
Oh.
fine.
Before we jumped on here,
Redact.
I was actually playing a game with my wife, who's also a gamer,
Of course.
called Eco, which it's a survival game like Minecraft, similar graphics but a little bit nicer, but it's more community based. You can't just do everything yourself. You literally have to specialize and work together in this and build an economy. It's an interesting game. So I like survival games. Those are fun. I like first person shooters every now and then. How one of the reasons I knew I love my wife is when she challenged me to play Counter-Strike and kicked my ass.
That is true love right there. Let me just say.
She whipped my ass, and I was like, this is amazing. That means she has time into this game. That means she's not pretending to be a gamer. She's a legit gamer.
The only way my girl can beat me in the only way I can beat my girl at Mortal Kombat is if I play Liu Kang. Otherwise, she whoops my ass day and night.
Yeah.
She nods. She's like, yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, that's and that, like, video games are really awesome for me right now because that's one way I can actually feel like I'm doing something with my wife and my kids.
Sure.
Even though I'm all the way over here, as soon as we're done doing this, I'm staying up a little late because I'm gonna play Elder Scrolls Online with my daughter.
Fuck yeah, man.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
That's
awesome.
the thing is, I mean, if it brings you and your kids together, or you and your family, or somebody that you love, that's awesome. That's the point of it.
That's the only reason why I bought a Wii U, is because I wanted to get my kids more into games and stuff like that and now they love it. Although a little bit too much sometimes. We had to pull away from some screen time for my son because he'd be getting up in the morning and literally go straight to my wife's room and ask to go play.
Yeah.
And it's like, son, you need to calm down. But it gave my daughters incentive to learn to read so they could be playing games more on their own without my help. That's one of the reasons that's one of the reasons why I learned to read so early on, is because both I and my mother got tired of my mom having to read the text in Zelda: Link to the Past.
Oh.
Because I was young when we got that game, and me and my mom would sit next to me and we would play that. This is so long ago. We got stuck on a boss, and you guys remember the 900 numbers in the back of the cartridges where if you need tips and hints, call this number?
No, yeah.
My mom did. My mom called that 900 number.
But that's the thing. I mean, that's the thing is, with my guys, they get to a point in a game that they don't know what's going on. I've got one of my kids is playing Spider-Man on PS4 right now. If they get to a boss level or they get to some place that they don't know, guess what? They jump on YouTube and they go to the playthrough. So, I mean, this generation has no idea what it's like to have to call tech support for a video game.
See, I'd never
Remember
called...
the Nintendo Power magazines that you get
Oh,
at
yes.
the library?
Oh yes.
Oh my
I didn't...
god.
Oh.
See, now, of course, when I was really getting started, it was
I
obviously
want to go
into
put on my Power Gloves
PlayStation
right now.
with
I
PlayStation
really
with
do.
Metal Gear. I didn't do the number on the back or whatever. What I had to do was I had to get those books, the guide books. That's
The
how
guide
I
books
would do it.
From Toys R Us.
Yeah.
That was
Fuck
like
yeah,
the only
dude.
place that we could find them.
I was like, that is how I figured out how to get all
Oh,
the temperatures for the key
Hey,
code
guys,
in Metal
would you stop playing
Gear.
with the rum?
I was like,
Put the rum away.
put the rum away.
Where's the
Put
rum
the
go?
rum down.
let
Put
let
the rum away.
let the record show he's being a good parent and telling his kids to put the alcohol away, not the other way around.
No, they're making Bananas Foster.
Oh, okay.
They're,
But-
Wait,
they're,
what's Bananas Foster?
it is a very delicious dessert made with it's sliced bananas and butter and brown sugar, and they melt the butter and brown sugar and then saute the bananas in that, and then they add rum to that and then flambe it. So my kitchen is about to be set on fire, and I'm cool with it because my kids know how to cook.
It's not like you live in Southern California or anything.
No.
But no, yeah,
We're used
I
to
had the
fires.
guidebook. That's how I figured out how to get
It
the.
smells
'Cause
delicious in here.
There's a part in
I
Metal
bet it
Gear.
does.
There's a part in Metal Gear where you have to get the key code and you have to get it to a right temperature in order to access a certain part of the lock. And I'm like, well, where the fuck am I supposed to do this? So my dad went out, grabbed the guidebook, and then when I came back home from school, he goes, "Hey, I figured it out." Shows it to me on the book, and so he shows me how to do it. And I'm like, so yeah, that was my first time using a guidebook. That was great.
I want to hear an embarrassing story about
Sure do.
me and parents. Now,
Yes,
bear
You
in
had
mind-
you had me at embarrassing.
Embarrassing story.
yeah, I might get in trouble with Twitch for this, but
Oh,
there's a
shit.
point for this. Okay, so I very much enjoyed computer games for the longest time because I was not allowed to buy video games. Keyword buy. So I couldn't do console, but I could buy I could get free games off the internet, right? And so one night it was 2 a.m. and my dad walks into the living room to me on the laptop, and he freaks out, and and he's just like, "What are you doing?" And then I turned, and I was playing Maple Story, and he was like, granted this is on Spanish, but he goes, "I'm glad it's not porn, because that's what I thought, but I don't know if this is much better."
Oh.
So yeah.
And we lost Thom Cruz.
Okay.
There he is.
Okay.
Okay.
Holy shit. I closed
I'm
down my Chrome while I was ahead of myself because I'm like, okay, maybe that's it because Netflix is up on my Chrome. I'm like, maybe it's the bandwidth. Close down Chrome. Maybe we'll be good now.
I
That's
just figured my story was so epic it broke you.
Mysterio let out the bag that Peter Parker's Spider-Man so hard that Peter Parker left the MCU.
Oh, that means it's great.
That
No,
was a good meme.
that reminds me. I was doing this one thing where they've got all these.
On that, sorry, on
Go
that,
for it.
if I have to see another Spider-Man origin story and see Uncle Ben die again,
Hey,
Right.
You
Marvel
should
didn't do
petition to
that.
be Uncle Ben this time.
what?
You should audition to be Uncle Ben this time.
God.
I know how to make minute rice. I'm not that Uncle Ben.
Anyway, no, that what your story reminds me of. They did this funny comments, best funny comments on YouTube. There's this photo of My Little Pony. The first top comment says, "I switched to my porn tab because it was easier to explain to my parents."
Oh,
So, yes, that's fucking hilarious.
in
Speaking of
between
which,
the bronies, and the furries, yeah, I'll take porn.
Furries are such nice people.
You're
They're
Whatever the-
Oh my God, this is how the Manson family started.
She's not wrong.
Like, we went to a cosplay barbecue, and there was this one fairy there, and she was the sweetest woman, and, like, she brought her kids and stuff, and they were all, like, playing with the tail. She's like, yeah, have fun.
Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes.
Sure haven't.
Okay. You know that's how it happens. You get the hitchhiker. She brings you back to the compound.
Because you should meet Charlie. He'd love you.
He'd love you.
I didn't like that movie.
I did.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, sorry. I know,
Okay.
totally off topic. I absolutely love the fact that I saw that in Ventura, California, because I went and saw it on a Tuesday afternoon. The theater was legitimately full of old white people. I was the youngest person there. I'm
Dope.
not young. I was the youngest person there, and the guy sitting the theater was seriously packed. The guy sitting next to me left halfway through, and then it's a Quentin Tarantino film, and when things started getting hyper violent right at the end, which I absolutely loved, people started getting up, like holding themselves like they were getting physically ill at a violent scene in a Tarantino movie and going up and leaving the theater. I was laughing so goddamn hard.
Bitch, it's a Tarantino movie.
It's a Tarantino movie.
Did you think it was going to be like horses
It was
and
kittens
ponies
and rainbows and
like,
yeah, no. And you have a Manson twist to it, so you know there's going to be blood. It's not historically accurate. I get it that. It's a great movie, but at the same time, it's like, I guess people around here are.
they should get everybody there to watch Inglourious Bastards.
I was just thinking it's Tarantino. It doesn't exactly say it.
Seriously.
Pulp Fiction. Anyway, so
Sorry.
quick commentary. I'm obviously,
Thank
as
you.
the host of this show, so this is directly to the listeners. I'm obviously the host of the show. I do all the recording on my end, on my computer. My internet has been kicking out. This is, I think, 3 times now so far. I don't know what's going to happen to the audio, and I apologize for that in advance. Because when it pauses and glitches out, even the time on recording stops. So,
You know what the wonderful thing is?
What I can do is I've got it going on Twitch right now.
yeah.
I can have one of my buddies figure out how to get it onto YouTube and therefore get it to you guys. So all is not lost.
Okay.
There
We'll
is
figure
hope.
it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I'm saying
This'll
there's
be-
a chance.
It's a good thing I don't work tomorrow. I can fucking go through for
We'll
the first time
make it
in
work.
like 10 episodes and actually check the audio.
We'll make
I
it
haven't really. I edit it by just putting in the title, and then I don't know if you guys have listened. I put a special little thing at the end of every episode now. I put the big green weenie, and attached to it is single dad going motherfucker, and that's kind
Nice.
of like the way we ended it now. So that's at the end of every episode. So be sure to wait till the end of the episode. Speaking of, now let's switch to Mayan Goddess now to tell us her video game spiel to get this ball continue rolling on the right path.
I like balls.
What are you doing?
I'm showing my katana blades. No,
She's spanking her fat ass.
Oh, got it.
I'm very, very non-existent ass. Okay, so my favorite game,
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
Go-
The first
go,
two
girl.
for sure. The third one, we've already spoken about. But yeah, like the early Kingdom Hearts games, yeah, loved them. Storyline was absolutely fantastic. I am a sucker for first-person shooter games right now. That's kind of my jam. Yeah.
I think we should all get Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and we should do a Geek Boots fucking multiplayer team. So, just saying.
See,
Yes.
We're gonna forcibly put J4 on the opposite team so we can shoot him in the face.
Shoot him in the face. Hey, hey.
Suck a fucking dick, motherfucker.
Motherfucker, suck a fucking dick.
That is recorded, and now I finally have it. Yes. I've been waiting for you to send me that forever. Continue.
Oh, we need to do that. Okay, sorry. What was I gonna say? My least favorite game.
You got 20 minutes and you're going to bed.
Minecraft is close, but not. And here's why. I've made some very good friends building things that I didn't know anything about. The Sims. That whole series, it just bores me to death. I just but it's okay. There's some great people to play, but yeah, I won't be playing with you guys. Sorry.
It's a game where you ignore your real life to grossly mismanage and micromanage fake people's lives.
Is it bad that I put a character into a 4x4, just walls and no bathroom, no food, no nothing, and just let them sit there and see what happens to them? Yeah, I did that in The Sims. Don't touch
That's some Westworld shit. Like, let's watch them die. Yes. Like,
they're not real, okay? Chill out.
That's some Westworld shit.
That's what the Nazis said about Jews.
Oh, back to Inglourious Bastards.
You burned him so hard he froze.
Yeah, seriously, I don't even know what you said. You know what? It's fine, whatever. That time the clock was still running, so hopefully I'll be able to hear your joke.
I did. You're gonna hear that comment, and you're going to punch me when we get here.
I think your beard will protect your face. You're fine.
Continue
honest with your video games.
So as far as like favorite platform,
Yeah. Boobs? Yeah, I love boobs too.
I like PlayStation. I'm a PlayStation girl.
That was weird timing.
I like purple.
Bring his phone up.
Like Kingdom Hearts, like DC versus Mortal Kombat, like all those games, they were all on PlayStation. But I fucking love PC because of the indie games. Like the beauty of developer freedom has created some absolutely amazing games, from Broforce, which is something we all need to play at some point.
That game is on PlayStation.
Broforce, my shit.
Yeah, that's my shit too.
So there's Broforce, Transistor, Bastion. Like, there's so many indie games that are just fantastic that you can only get on PC. So
yep. Let's see. They're great for LAN parties. Like, another game that we all need to play together is Mount Your Friends.
Wait,
I know that
What?
game. I love that game.
It's a game called Mount Your Friends.
Are you're talking about the naked people that are like rag dolls, and you connect them until you go all the way up? Yeah. So so it's like a swinging thing. You grab one limb, you swing the character up, and then you click it, and they're naked. And you keep climbing these people up until you've reached, I think, the end, right? Or is there even an end? I don't remember. I fucking love that game. Mount Your Friends. By the way,
Friends. God, what's the other?
Oh, there's the Goat Simulator.
Oh God, Goat Simulator.
Okay, I say this right after saying that I can't stand The Sims. The Goat Simulator is fucking hilarious. But
it's one thing to have people; it's another thing to have goats.
Speaking of The Sims,
we've all been on deployment. People are not goats.
Ruby Echo just said in a message to me, in The Sims, I made people swim in the pool, then took away the ladder until they drowned.
That's some Westworld shit.
Hey,
you just had a 1-year anniversary with a freaking psychotic.
I hereby revoke your guys' invitation to my barbecue when I get back.
Wait, you're having a barbecue? I was never invited. Holy shit!
I was never invited.
You asshole.
Because you live in California.
I also live like
a barbecue.
16 hours away.
And
about 22.
And we would go.
You live in California. You're already in a barbecue.
I mean, fair.
Not wrong. No. You have to tell us when, and you have to invite us so we can at least give you the courtesy of saying, no, go fuck yourself.
And then
I mean, fair.
out with me.
To be fair.
To be fair.
I haven't even made the Facebook event yet.
Oh, so it's not official. If
Okay.
it's not
Well,
on
yeah.
Facebook, it's not official.
Well, I also don't know exactly when I'm coming home yet.
I never
Anyway.
know when I'm coming either. It just happens.
And that's how you get children, ladies and gentlemen.
And AIDS.
I've got 3 of them.
3
And
AIDS?
they're all awesome.
You have
And
3
they're all here listening to me.
You have 3 types of
You guys
AIDS.
are cool.
Anyway, continue, my goddess, with games.
I forgot where I was.
Yeah, I did too.
Least favorite.
Least favorite.
Oh, Sims.
No,
Yeah.
we already did that.
Yeah, that's
talk
where you
about
left off.
Your favorite
Goats.
platform.
Goats.
Oh, and
Talk
platform.
about
You
favorite
like
platform.
goats. You hate people.
Yes.
I mean, she is a Marine.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh my god, we got to work with crayons in class today, and I was like, oh my god, yes.
Let the record show. This is the episode we get single dad. Yes.
I think I broke him.
By the way, the reason why I'm gonna get kicked out of this is because Vet TV is run by mostly Marines, and they've done a video where the sniper is checking out the area, and there's a
Oh my
fucking-
god, my kids are
there's
asking
a
me if I'm
terrorist.
okay. My kids are they're like standing
Victory
there
is
like,
mine!
they're like, are you okay, Dad? Are you okay?
there's a terrorist humping a goat, and the Marine, he looks to his left and to his right to see if anybody's watching, and then he spits in his hand, goes down under and starts
Oh.
jerking himself off, watching the terrorist hump the goat. That was immediately where my head went after that joke. I'm like, oh Jesus. Well, since we lost track with my goddess, we're gonna go ahead. Now we're gonna go to
No,
single
I
dad.
think I answered everything.
No,
I
no, no,
honestly
no.
think I answered everything.
Oh,
Okay.
I hope you did.
Because I said favorite game, least favorite game, favorite platform.
Favorite type of game? What's your go-to game? Oh no, you
Oh,
already
I said shooters. So ha, suck
There
it.
you go. Done. Later.
I actually
Um,
remembered.
Single dad, when you've caught your breath, it is your turn, good sir.
You're gonna have to give me a fucking minute.
Um,
Ow!
hold on. Hold on. I'll give you a couple. I'll
I just
read
got
this
hit with a fucking pick.
fantastic book.
What?
Oh, I thought he was
Wait,
gonna hold up an
wait,
actual
wait.
pickle.
Wait.
Ah,
It's a squeaky pickle.
yes, it's a dog toy.
Ah, for your
It's a
kids,
squeaky
right?
pickle.
I know.
Okay.
Is it for
Hi,
my
J4, you officially broke us all. How do you feel?
Michael, pretty
Oh
proud.
my god. Dude, J4,
Look like you have
I
like a
love you.
twinkle in your eye.
there's...
Getting
Okay.
okay. Here yet?
I'm
Would you
sorry.
like to take the academy?
I haven't done one of those. I gotta cut out the segment and use it as advertisement. But that joke is definitely going in the advertisements. That has to be. That was fucking great.
That was so great.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Okay,
Tapping out.
No. not tapping out. I'm ringing in. I'm here. Okay, so, there's a difference between my favorite game and the games that mean a lot to me.
Sure.
For my favorite game of all time, I'm sorry. There's one game that people have asked me time and time
Fuck
again.
is squeaking.
It's the squeaky pickle.
Is the dog chewing on the squeaky
Fucking
toy?
pickle.
All you hear is this kid, hey, and then grab it right
His
off.
hand
the
is-
camera.
Oh, that was great.
Oh,
right.
This show is so janky.
So there's one game that I will say, hands down, favorite game. It does not matter. I will play this game over and over and over again. Ocarina of Time, Nintendo 64.
Nice. Yeah.
So much.
But can
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Play it.
All right.
It's fine if we get sued.
It's not mine. It is my son's. He's the one that plays it.
He's awesome.
Something else.
So I've got some great crits. I really do.
Can we just pause for a second? Jake just like nailed that.
Did.
That was
I'm
amazing.
listening.
You know what the best thing is?
Crap. This is crap.
Never actually played that game.
This is crap. Keep freezing. This is crap. Continue.
So
I never had a 64.
that's
I went over people's houses to play that.
yeah. I
Remember when we used to go to each other's homes and play next to each other on split screen modes? That was fun. And they did away
See,
with that.
My nearest
Okay.
friend that had an N64 lived 30 miles away.
see.
I grew up in the country.
See, that's
We
the
are
thing.
gonna
I
fix you
would.
when you get back.
Let's put it this way. I would go to my fraternity house in college, and this is at the time where we had the giant TV screen. It wasn't a projector, but it was the old.
The one that was as big as a room.
Almost, pretty much, just so we could play four-person GoldenEye, and we put it
Oh
on.
man.
Yep, big head slappers only. And that's what we would do. And we would have the cords set up to one of the rooms upstairs, so they would have their own room up there, and we'd play teams against each other, so that way we could play together. And this is on the original PlayStation.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm old. It's okay. I'm cool with that. So favorite game of all time, Ocarina of Time. There is no question about it. There are two games that are near and dear to my heart, just for the fact that when I was in Iraq, whenever it was on downtime, when I was outside the wire and on missions and everything like that, I was running convoy security. We would be jacked up on Stenadrin, we'd be jacked up on Red Bull, we'd be jacked up on caffeine, whatever we could. So it took a while to come off of that, especially if we got contact and had EOD, had IED strikes, anything like that. So whenever I would come off of a mission, I would go and I would play Lord of the Rings on PS2. Hold on.
Who's whistling?
It's not whistling. It's my son playing the ocarina.
I
Oh,
was gonna say it's not me. I'm done.
No, my son's actually sitting here next to me playing the ocarina. Hold on.
Lord of the Rings on PlayStation 2. That's a blast from the past.
Yes.
Right.
So
crap.
it's an RPG. It's an RPG.
mm-hmm.
And hold on. Helm's Deep. So
Oh man.
that's the thing, is it was an RPG, so it totally made sense to my my D&D nerd side, because it was a turn-based game on PlayStation. So I could sit there and I could think about, okay, what spells do I need to cast? What armor do I need to have? What weapons do I need to have? And I could figure that up. And I literally, within one deployment, played that game 3 times through
Wow.
on one deployment. Because when you're when you're jacked up on caffeine, you're not going to sleep. So that's what it was. And the other game, that was when I was in, specifically, that's when I was in Fallujah. But whenever I would go, there was another base that we went to quite frequently over in Ramadi. Whenever I went to like the equivalent of the MWR USO there, and I'm going to give a shout out to a friend of mine here, I would go and play Blood Rain on PS2.
Yes.
That's a good game too.
I absolutely love that game, and that's another game that whenever I was at that base, I just went without sleep. I would go, I'd play that game, and then I'd go and load up with whatever I needed to make through the mission that night, and then I'd go off and do my job. But it's funny because there's now a cosplayer model that I am great friends with, because at WonderCon I saw that I was walking around and at the fountain, and mine, you know where I'm talking about. It's where we took the pictures.
The veteran shoot, yeah.
The veteran shoot. I saw this girl, and she was in a Blood Rain cosplay, and I was like, "Holy shit! I've got to get a picture with her." This video game means so much to me, and so I went up and introduced myself. I was like, "Hey, can I get a picture?" She and I have become very, very good friends, to the point that I actually, as a photographer, just shot her wedding announcement engagement photographs.
Oh.
Aww.
So
Well-
huge shout out to Adam Bombardi. Girl, I absolutely love you. And
She's so cool. She's
she
a Twitch
is.
streamer too.
She is. So
Check out
but
Adam Bombardi on Twitch.
she's a wonderful girl. Absolutely love her. And we literally made this connection over Blood Rain. And I put out her picture, and I think it was a head wink that, as a photographer, with her picture I took, I actually won the head wink photographer competition.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, favorite game is definitely Ocarina of Time, Lord of the Rings, and Blood Rain. Huge video games that mean the world to me. PlayStation is my choice of platform. Absolutely love it. And now with the news of the PS5 being able to retroactively play all of my old games, I kind of feel bad getting rid of some of them, but I know.
It's okay. There's still a chance.
Yeah,
I had a black label copy of Final Fantasy VII.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
I didn't know. How are we supposed to know?
None of us
How
did.
are we supposed to?
None of us did. I tried looking for it. There is a gentleman that I've met at several cons that has it's quite literally a box that's about 2" by 2" by 4". And it's got it's got 250 games on it, retroactive.
Nice.
And so you can buy it for, it's like $150, $200. USB compatible to a smart TV. And it's all different platforms of games, from NES, N64, PS1, PS2, PS3, GameCube, Sega Genesis, you name it. It's got over 250
Yeah.
over 250 games available. Just on this one box. So he's got it programmed. It's awesome. He's been hitting the SoCal convention circuit. I met him at Anime Impulse this past year. So if I had his name, and I'll get it back and we can post it up later. But I'll get that link set up. Least favorite game?
Oh yeah, you're still going. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Wow, that was
Not more fucked up than putting a character in 4x4 walls and just letting them die slowly, or putting them in a pool and taking away the ladders.
a watery 4x4. Match made in heaven. I see it. Beautiful. You guys are meant for each other.
Yeah, it was funny because when he goes, "Wow, he just celebrated his 1 year with the psychopath," and I'm over like, "Did you not hear what I said? What I did to somebody?" Like,
I gotta say, I'm not a fan of like the Five Nights at Freddy's and the Bendy.
Never played those.
yeah,
My kids have played them, and I've watched them. I'm like, it's literally a walkthrough. I mean, it's like like the Choose Your Own Adventure books when you were a kid in video game. I do like the books, but as a video game, it's like,
really? You know, on a cosplay level, I appreciate Five Nights at Freddy's because those costumes are fucking epic. There's a lot of craft that goes into those costumes. But as a video game,
agreed.
When I first heard about it is when I got back from active duty, and my nephew was playing it a lot, and he goes, check out this game, it's really spooky. And I go, well, all right, cool, let's do this. And I checked out the game, and he freaks out, and I'm still sitting there going,
Right.
really? A teddy bear
So-
just lunged at the screen, and you're
Can I-
freaking out? Like,
Let me just interject.
yeah, go.
I have told my children about a game, and I refuse to let them watch any gameplay on YouTube or anything like that.
Grand Theft Auto.
But I remember playing this game when it came out, Manhunter.
I never played that game.
I don't think I've
Never
started
even
that.
heard of it.
Okay, so it was on PlayStation 2. This was a
Uh-huh.
game that literally you were a psychopath that was being directed, and all the game was you killing people in different grisly ways. Like you start off with a garrote wire, choking
Wow.
people to, and then mind you, this is in the 1990s. It was one of the first games that had the MA rating. You have a garrote wire you start off with, and then you get a plastic bag that you get to choke people out with, and then you get a baseball bat, and then you move up because it's just this challenge of you going through a mental facility and
course.
murdering people.
Well, so
Developed by Rockstar.
Yes.
So heads up, by the
So,
way.
okay.
Before they
not-
came out with Grand Theft Auto, they had
not
Manhunter.
not Rockstar, but heads up, because you're probably not going to want your kids to play this game either, because it's in the same wheelhouse. They're currently in development of making a Jason Voorhees video game where you get to play Jason running around the campgrounds, murdering people in different ways.
I want to seriously. Let's watch teenagers have sex so I can put them in a sleeping bag, bash them against the tree.
that was my favorite Jason Voorhees scene. Worst movie, but
Jason X?
favorite Josie. Yeah, that scene was awesome. The magnetic nipples that kept
Yes.
falling off. That
Thank
was
you.
perfect.
He laughed so hard he broke.
He broke. I really-
Aw.
Jason heard his name.
Oh.
We're back. Okay,
He survived.
keep going.
So proud of you.
Yeah, keep going. Before it does that to me again.
I'm absolutely
You're
done.
More than likely will. You're done. Okay.
I've
all right.
I've said my favorite game. I've talked about the people that I wanted to talk about. I've said my worst game. I've said my favorite platform. I'm good.
What about favorite type of game?
Favorite? Oh man, why do you got to do that to me?
Because I love you. I
You're.
just want to hear your voice.
Crying 'cause I love you. Okay, sorry.
No, you're not.
It was weird because I used to enjoy first-person shooters,
Uh-huh.
and then actually for a couple years I could not play them. I seriously could not play first-person shooters. There was just a mental thing that I
Oh, okay.
couldn't get past. Just
Ah.
different things and everything like that. So I've gotten to the point where I can play them now. And the game that brought me back to them was Call of Duty World War II. I absolutely love that game, and the boys are like, "What about Modern Warfare, Infinite Warfare? You have these cool weapons." I'm like, "Give me an M1 Garand. I'm happy."
So can we, okay, this is a commentary I have to make. The most satisfying sound for me in terms of weapons is the M1 ground
Garand.
firing and then ding,
After
and
that
the
8th
fact
round,
and the fact that they were so accurate in getting that noise during the World War II games
yes,
that they had to redo that entire structure for Modern Warfare. This is why it's like, with you saying this, I'm kind of iffy on making you play it with us now, because they went very far in terms of making the sounds accurate to actual weapons.
oh
They
no,
recorded the sounds going off, and then furthermore, they recorded the sound of the brass hitting the wall on
exactly.
certain types of surfaces, and the brass hitting the ground depending on the certain types of surfaces. So I'm like, for me, I'm like, oh Jesus, this is going to be a very real experience, kind of, and I'm super excited. But the way you describe it, maybe not for you. I don't know.
Oh no! It's gotten to the point where I play Infinite Warfare
Uh-huh.
with my eldest, and I've got a souped-up M1 Garand as my primary.
Nice.
I mean, my loadout it's an M1 Garand basically, with a red dot sight, and it's like I can't add extra mags or anything like that because it's an M1.
Yeah.
You got 8 rounds, and you can't reload it until those 8 rounds are done.
Yep.
So
Video games have definitely upped the ante as far as like being
Immersion.
accurate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just
Okay.
doing that immersion. And I do
Yes.
have to bring up Assassin's Creed Unity for that.
yes,
Because when Notre Dame fell, they basically released it for free because they went into so much detail about the actual
Notre Dame.
structure itself.
Yeah.
So, like, as far as that, granted, they had issues with other stuff, but as far as like getting the town down right, and same thing with which Grand Theft Auto was set in
Miami.
LA?
None of them.
Yeah,
Or no, sorry, Vegas.
Oh, are you talking about the most? No, was it the most recent one?
Grand
might have
Theft
been
Auto.
Grand Theft
I
Auto.
want to say it's the one in LA.
Grand Theft Auto's all set in fictional cities.
Okay.
well, they're set in
The-
fictional cities, but
They're- but
San
they're based on
Andreas
actual
is
cities.
loosely based off of
like Miami. and
well, San Andreas
Vice
is loosely
City.
based off of LA,
Francisco.
San Francisco, and
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah. So there are certain roads that they basically mimicked perfectly to the
Yes.
point that like people have said like it's eerie driving through these streets in real life because I drove this in the video game and it's exact.
Right.
I'm just waiting for Grand Theft Auto America, and you have the entire country as a map. That's what I fucking want. I know that's weird.
Oh.
Yeah,
but
there's gonna be
that's-
one chapter driving through Kansas going, this is the most stupid chapter of my fucking life.
And you know
Like,
what? You know what?
that
I
only
will
thing
play that
also-
episode with pride. But the best part of it is, it's not a drive; it's a plane ride. Just they don't want to hurt you too much.
I mean,
Yeah,
as
but
cool
to get-
as that would be, do you realize how you would need a terabyte hard drive to play
Yeah.
that game
It's-
alone?
okay. So it's not totally out of the wheelhouse because there are maps right now in existence, depending on the game you're playing right now, that the map is right now bigger than the United States.
Yeah,
There
you're
are
talk-
games with bigger maps than the United States that are very detailed.
But if you're wanting to go into the level of detail of that, I mean, you're literally talking.
Yeah, the level of detail that those particular guys go with the locations that they base their stuff off of.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll the way.
Hole. You're gonna be waiting a minute.
It's fine.
Yeah,
I'll be
think about
retired
this.
in a retirement home, doing nothing with my life but playing video games.
You're gonna be going from like Miami and like the drug lords and kingpins and everything like that. You're gonna try and go to LA. You're gonna have to drive through Alabama, and like there's gonna be a level where you have to fuck your sister. Gee,
Hold on. Is she hot though?
you would ask that.
I had to. I was like,
Well,
I'm sitting here checking my updates on my Instagram for all the Black Rifle Coffee stuff, and you said that, and they go, okay, hold on, what's the most fucked up thing I could think about? And then
I mean,
most likely-
there's an army joke in there somewhere, but I don't think you'd get it.
Actually, I think it's a
No,
marine,
the marine joke.
By the way,
We've
Neil Bob
already done
Falcon
that.
says good evening, everyone.
What's that?
Neo Bob Falcon says good evening, everyone, and Harpo Jaro says TES Daggerfall was 62,000 square miles.
Wait, which game?
Daggerfall.
Daggerfall.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see.
So,
Hey, Harley dog.
got your back.
Daggerfall?
Hello to everyone watching. Yeah, so basically that concludes our episode now because we've all done everything we needed to do. All the check marks are done. But now for little bits of shout outs. Mayan, you go ahead because you look like you're about to fucking fly out the window trying to get my attention.
One last thing before you finish. Ninja just released a book. One of the biggest gamers around released a book. The reviews are out. If you are a hardcore gamer and are trying to get better at gaming, which was kind of how it was advertised, you're not going to learn too much, but a lot of the reviews are saying if you are a gamer and you have family that is like, this is the book for them. Because he goes into how he's turned it, like how it's a sport, how he's connected with people and how he delves into all these details for the love of the game. And it's a healthy thing. It's not something that's like obnoxiously addicted, because we're all addicted to something. May as well be something legal.
It could be cocaine.
That's
Cocaine
Cocaine
and
is
porn.
legal in certain areas.
Heroin. Meth.
Same.
Not even once.
I hear it tastes like Skittles. I don't know.
Smells
Wait,
like
which one are we
acid.
talking about?
Wait, what?
Wait, you don't eat heroin. You like inject it. I don't know how those work. Sorry.
And on that note,
I don't know how to drugs
Did
properly.
we get a little bit too real?
no, I froze for a good solid minute while she was plugging that, so I didn't get to hear a majority of what the book is, and then I come into, we're all addicted to something, and
I really don't want to know what you came into.
Wasn't me.
I mean, I understand that
I
you're
did her
trisex.
on the on
Try
the
anything
first-
at least once. Chickens,
Yeah.
dogs, mud.
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 Anyway, this has been this insane, crazy episode of Geek Boots Military Nerds. We're gonna wrap this up before I freeze all over again and piss myself off even more. Make sure you get yourself a copy of Thank You for My Service by Matt Best. Make sure you calm the fuck down on terms of this whole Spider-Man deal. And stay tuned. There will be a part 2 in terms of video games, because special announcement, I got in touch with a Mr. Eli Double Tap on Instagram. He is famous from Black Rifle Coffee. He is also a famous Twitch streamer and cosplayer as well. He's played as Solid Snake, so it's pretty awesome. He said he wants to be on the show. We're trying to schedule that, so when he gets back from his Japan trip, we're going to have another video game episode. We'll have him talk more about the culture and future video games to come.
Hell yeah.
If you liked everything that you heard today, aside from me cutting out every once in a while, I apologize again. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button on all of our different platforms. Follow us on social media. Hit that like button because it helps us out a whole bunch. And make sure you leave some comments for some feedback, because we could always use some extra growth. I'm Thom Cruz Cosplay. With me today is a whole bunch of gamers. We got Mayan Goddess. We got J4 Props.
Toodles.
And we got Single Dad Life Adventures.
Deuces.
This is Geek Boots signing out.
Motherfucker!